My precious child, hear my voice in this moment. Do not postpone. Do not turn your attention elsewhere. This instant is not ordinary, and these words did not reach you by accident. I am speaking to you today because this very day carries your miracle, and heaven is attentive to how you respond right now. I am asking you to open your heart immediately, because the choice you make in these moments will shape what unfolds next in your life. I am not here to frighten you. I speak with urgency because love sometimes must speak swiftly when timing is important. My child, I need you to listen. Not tomorrow, not later, this moment. I know how weary you have become. I know how many times you have waited, hoped, prayed, and then questioned whether anything would ever truly change. I know the discouragement you learned to conceal behind strength. But today is not like the other days. Today is set apart. Today is being observed. Today carries a gift prepared long before you ever thought to ask. And yes, it brings me joy when you open your heart now, because obedience opens doors that waiting by itself never can. You may be asking yourself, is this really meant for me? Listen carefully. If it were not for you, you would not be here hearing this. I do not interrupt lives without purpose. I do not call my children without intention. You are neither late nor early. You are exactly where you are meant to be. This is your moment. What I am offering today cannot simply be carried into tomorrow if it is refused now. Not because my love is withdrawn, but because some blessings are bound to timing. My beloved, I see heaven leaning close. I see angels ready to move. I see prayers rising that you believed were forgotten. And I tell you gently and truthfully, your miracle is already prepared. It is not being formed. It is not being debated. It is ready. What remains is how you respond. Will you open your heart now, or will you hesitate because fear has taught you to delay joy? I know your story. I know the nights you whispered my name through tears on your pillow. I know the days you smiled for others while feeling empty inside. I know the questions you were afraid to speak aloud. I know how often you told yourself to expect less so the pain would be smaller. But today, my child, I ask you to expect me, not carefully, not partially, but fully. Do not mistake this urgency for danger. It is opportunity. It is alignment. It is the meeting of heaven and earth in this season of your life. Love is drawing you forward, not pushing you away. I am not displeased with you. I delight in you. And yes, it brings gladness to my heart when you receive this message now, because it tells me you still trust me enough to listen. You have been standing at the edge of change without realizing it. You felt a restlessness within your spirit. You sensed a quiet stirring you could not explain. That was me. I was preparing you for this day. I was softening your heart so that what I speak now could take root and grow swiftly. Some seeds require time, but some moments are meant for immediate planting. This is one of those moments. My child, do not underestimate what happens when you choose me without delay. Delay has taken from you before. You waited for certainty, for signs, for reassurance, and fear disguised itself as wisdom. But today I speak plainly to you. Your miracle is not waiting for proof. It is waiting for trust. Trust does not mean you understand everything. It means you open your heart even while questions remain. I am not asking you to rush blindly. I am asking you to step willingly. I am not asking you to be without fear. I am asking you to be faithful. And faith often looks like opening your heart when you are tired of being disappointed. Faith looks like listening even when part of you wants to guard itself from hope. Heaven is watching, not to condemn you, but to respond to you. Every movement of your heart matters in this moment. Every quiet yes, every wall you lower, every tear you release creates room for me to move. You are not alone right now. I am closer than you realize. I speak gently yet firmly, because I love you too much to let you miss what I have prepared. My beloved, there are doors that open only when you respond immediately. Not because I hurry you, but because delay gives doubt time to speak. Doubt will tell you to wait until you feel ready. But readiness is not an emotion. Readiness is obedience. And you are more ready than you think, because I would not call you if you were not. You have learned how to survive. Today I am calling you to receive. Survival taught you endurance, but receiving will teach you how to live. Do not confuse caution with wisdom in this moment. Wisdom is hearing my voice and responding while it is clear. The clarity you sense right now is not accidental. It will not remain forever if ignored. That is why I speak with urgency wrapped in love. I know your fears. I know the voice that whispers, "What if nothing happens again?" I know the memory of past disappointments that urges you to guard your heart. But hear me clearly, this is not the same moment. This is not the same season. You are not the same person, and I am doing something new that requires a new response from you. My child, I am smiling over you as I speak, not because you are flawless, but because you are willing. Even your hesitation has not pushed me away. I am still here, still calling, still offering. But I will be honest with you because love speaks truth. This moment matters. What you choose now will shape what comes next. Type, "Father, I love you" beyond words if he is the center of your whole life. Open your heart. Release the need to control how the miracle arrives. Release the demand to understand every step. Release the fear that whispers, "You are asking for too much." You are not asking for too much. You are asking me, and I am enough. I see the road ahead. You see only the next step, and that is enough. You do not need to carry the entire journey in your thoughts. You only need to say yes within your spirit. Heaven responds to yes. Heaven moves when faith speaks. Heaven rejoices when my children trust me enough to open their hearts without delay. My beloved, do not scroll past this moment in your life. Do not treat it as just another message. I am speaking to you personally, intentionally, lovingly. You asked for change, you asked for relief, you asked for a sign. This is your sign. This is your invitation. This is your moment. Today your miracle will happen, not because you earned it, but because you are loved. And it brings me joy when you open your heart now, because love always rejoices when it is received. Stay with me. Listen, open yourself. What comes next will confirm what I am speaking to you now. My cherished child, draw near and listen to my voice. I want this truth to settle firmly within you, deeper than any uncertainty or fear. This moment was designed long before you ever entered the world. Your being here now, hearing these words, has not surprised me in the least. Before your name was ever spoken on earth, before you took your first breath, I already saw this hour. I saw you carrying questions in your heart, searching for clarity, longing for change, and wondering whether your life truly holds the meaning you sense it should. I knew you would arrive at this moment, and I prepared it with intention, patience, and love. Nothing in your life has been random. Not your birth, not the road you have walked, not even the seasons that felt empty, slow, or wasted. I have been watching over you from the very beginning. When you were young and your heart trusted easily, I was there. When life toughened you, when disappointment taught you to guard yourself, I remained with you. When you cried tears no one else noticed, I saw each one. When you whispered prayers unsure if they were heard, I listened to every word. Not a single sigh went unnoticed. Not one tear fell without purpose. You may look back and see scattered moments, choices that feel like errors, paths that seem mistaken. But I see one continuous story, gently and carefully held together by my hand. Even the delays you struggled to understand, even the waiting that drained your strength, were never signs that you were forgotten. They were intentional pauses placed within your story. I was shaping you, protecting you, and keeping certain doors closed until your heart and your strength were ready to step through them. I never lost sight of you, not even for an instant. I watched as you tried to make sense of why things moved so slowly. I saw the questions you turned inward, wondering if you had failed or if you were undeserving of the answers you sought. I saw you compare your journey with others and feel as though you were falling behind. And still, I stayed close. I did not hurry you because love does not rush what it values. I allowed time to work within you, even when you could not understand why it unfolded the way it did. My child, today is not an ordinary day. Today is a turning point written long ago. This is one of those moments that quietly divides what came before from what will come after, even if nothing outward appears dramatic. Heaven understands the significance of this hour. Heaven knows what has been prepared for you. That is why you sense something awakening within you now. An inner stirring that feels like awareness, like recognition, like truth returning to where it belongs. That feeling is not imagined. It is my spirit reminding you that you are exactly where you are meant to be. If this message has touched your heart, please support our channel. Everything we do is meant to bring joy into your life and to strengthen your faith and devotion to God. If you feel led, you can show your support by donating through Super Thanks. You did not come to this place by accident. Every step you have taken, even the ones that caused you pain, has drawn you closer to this moment. The disappointments that strengthened your endurance, the losses that softened your heart with compassion, the prayers that seemed to go unanswered and stretched your faith, all of these were shaping you for what lies ahead. I know it did not feel meaningful while you were living through it. I know the waiting often felt lonely, but I was working quietly in ways you could not see, arranging what needed to align, holding back what would have been too heavy for you, and preparing what would one day bring blessing into your life. I have been present in every season you have walked through, not only the ones you celebrate. I was there in the confusion, in the heartbreak, and in the silence. I was there when you felt unseen and misunderstood. I was there when you tried to remain strong for others while your own heart felt worn and tired. I did not turn away from you in those moments. I moved closer. I carried you when you believed you were standing on your own strength. Many times you lived through situations you thought you would not survive, and you wondered where the strength came from. That strength came from me. I want you to know how completely you are understood. I know your fears and your hopes. I know the parts of you that feel secure and the parts that feel delicate and unsure. I know the dreams you still guard quietly, and the ones you laid to rest because the waiting became too painful. I know the prayers you stopped speaking aloud because you were afraid of disappointment returning. None of this has caused me to step back from you. Instead, it has drawn me closer because every layer of your heart matters to me. Heaven is leaning in right now, not because you are in danger, but because you are standing at the edge of something significant. A shift is already taking place. Even if you cannot yet see it clearly, things are beginning to come together in ways that will soon be revealed. The change may begin softly, like a thought that settles differently in your mind, like calm replacing anxiety, like hope returning where you had trained yourself to expect less. Do not ignore these small movements. They are signs that something new is forming. I know you have learned to guard your hope. You protected yourself by lowering your expectations, by telling yourself not to believe too quickly. That caution served a purpose for a season, but it is not meant to shape your future. Today, I am inviting you to trust again, not without understanding, but with awareness. Trust me, the one who has walked with you through every chapter of your life. Trust me, who knows where you have been and where you are being led. This moment was placed into your story because you are ready for it now, not because you are flawless, but because you have grown. You learned compassion through pain. You learned patience through waiting. You learned resilience through loss. These lessons were difficult, but they were meaningful, and they have prepared you for what is ahead. I do not waste suffering, and I do not overlook growth that happens quietly. I want you to sense how personal this is. I am not speaking in broad terms. I am speaking directly to you. I know the exact thoughts that visit you late at night. I know the questions you ask when no one else is listening. I know the parts of you that still wonder if your life will truly change. And I tell you now with love and certainty, this moment matters. It is part of the unfolding of your destiny, not something separate from it. You may not yet see the whole picture, and that is okay. You were never meant to carry the entire future in your understanding. You are only asked to trust me in the present moment. The next steps will become clear as you continue forward with me. For now, rest in this truth. You are seen, you are known, and you are deeply loved. Heaven is not far away. Heaven is attentive. Heaven is responding. I have always been faithful to you. Even when you questioned my closeness, I was still at work in your story, even when the path felt confusing. And I will continue to walk with you as this new chapter begins. Let your heart settle in this truth. You are not behind, you are not forgotten. You are standing exactly where you are meant to be, in a moment prepared for you long before you ever knew to search for it. My precious child, come near and let your heart find rest in my words for a moment. I know how long you have carried questions within you. I know you have asked why the path felt so difficult, why answers did not arrive when you needed them most. Why the quiet seemed to stretch beyond what you felt you could endure. I have watched you wrestle with uncertainty, wondering if you had done something wrong, wondering if your pain meant failure or punishment. Listen to me now with a peaceful and open heart. The waiting was never meant as punishment. The silence was never rejection. The pain was never without purpose. I allowed the waiting because I was preparing you, not turning you away. I allowed the silence because I was working at a depth words could not reach. I allowed the pain not because I take pleasure in suffering, but because there were parts of you that could only be shaped through endurance, compassion, and quiet strength. I know this is difficult to understand while you are living through it. I know how lonely the waiting felt. I know how many nights you lay awake asking me to speak, to act, to show you in some way that you had not been forgotten. And I was there in every one of those nights. You were never abandoned in your suffering. I was closer than you realized. When your prayers felt as though they rose no higher than the ceiling, I was listening. When your tears soaked your pillow and your heart felt too heavy to put into words, I was holding you. When you questioned your worth and wondered if you had the strength to continue, I was quietly strengthening you from within. Not a single tear was wasted. Not one painful night went unseen. Every moment mattered, even when it felt unbearable. You placed the blame for the delays on yourself. You wondered if you had missed something, if you made the wrong choice, if you were not faithful enough. I want to remove that burden from your heart now. You are not being punished. You are being protected. There were things you asked for that you were not yet ready to carry. Not because you were weak, but because the blessing itself required a stronger foundation than you had at that time. I love you too deeply to place something in your hands that would have crushed you under its weight. The waiting taught you patience you did not know you possessed. The silence taught you how to listen beyond the noise. The pain softened your heart so you could love more deeply and understand others more fully. These were not lessons you requested, but they were lessons that shaped you into someone who can now receive what once would have overwhelmed you. I was building strength within you quietly, like roots growing deep beneath the surface while nothing seemed to change above the ground. I know you felt left behind as others moved forward. I know comparison made the waiting feel heavier. You watched doors open for others while yours remained closed, and you wondered what you were doing wrong. But I was never measuring you against anyone else. I was leading you along a path crafted uniquely for you. Your timing was different because your calling is different. What I am preparing you for requires depth, resilience, and a heart that understands both sorrow and hope. You learned how to endure seasons you never thought you would survive. You learned how to stand when you wanted to fall. You learned how to keep believing even when belief felt fragile. These are not small achievements. They are signs of growth, even if you did not recognize them then. Strength was forming in you quietly, without applause, without recognition, without immediate reward. But it was real, and it remains within you now. I saw you try to be strong for everyone else while your own heart was breaking. I saw you smile when you wanted to weep. I saw you carry responsibilities that felt far too heavy for you. I never expected you to bear all of that alone. I was with you even when you felt unsupported. I was giving you endurance not to keep you trapped in suffering, but to prepare you for freedom. Freedom often requires strength, and strength is often formed in silence. The prayers that seemed unanswered were not ignored. They were waiting for the right season. Some answers require time to unfold, hearts to change, circumstances to align, and your own wounds to heal. I was working in ways you could not see, protecting you from outcomes that would have caused greater harm. Trust that my timing was guided by love, never by indifference. Say, "You are my first and forever love, Lord," if your heart belongs completely to Him. I want you to release the guilt you have been carrying. You did not fail me by struggling. You did not disappoint me by feeling weary. You did not weaken your faith by asking questions. I am not threatened by your honesty. I am moved by it. Your vulnerability did not drive me away. It drew me closer. Release the belief that you had to be perfect to be loved. You were loved through every imperfect moment. Now you stand in a place where you can look back and see how much you have grown. Even if you still feel tender, you are stronger than you were, not hardened but wiser. You are more compassionate, more patient, more aware of what truly matters. This strength did not arrive loudly. It formed quietly in hidden places, shaped in moments no one else ever saw. And now you are ready for what once would have overwhelmed you. What lies ahead requires exactly what you gained during the waiting. It requires the depth you developed in silence. It requires the resilience you built through pain. Nothing was wasted. Nothing lacked meaning. Every step, every delay, every tear played a role in preparing you for this season. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. Let your heart rest in this truth. I have always been for you. I have always been working for your good. The waiting is giving way to movement. The silence is giving way to clarity. The pain is giving way to purpose. And I am walking with you into what comes next, just as I walked with you through all that has been. My precious child, reach out and take my hand and listen with care, because what I am about to tell you carries great importance. This is not a time to delay, and it is not a time to listen with only part of your heart. I speak to you with deep love, but also with steadiness and clarity, because love guards what is valuable, and your destiny is precious to me. I am not urging you forward out of impatience. I am leading you because timing matters, and you are standing at a place where movement is necessary. First, I want you to pay attention to what is rising within you right now. That stirring in your heart, that sense of urgency blended with hope, that quiet knowing that something must change. Do not silence it. That is my voice reaching beyond your fears and routines, calling you onward. You have learned to talk yourself out of moments like this. You have trained yourself to postpone, to overanalyze, to say later, because later feels safer. But later has already taken your peace before. I do not want you to miss what was meant for you because fear disguises itself as caution. Do not delay obedience. Obedience does not mean you understand everything. It means you trust me enough to move while I am speaking. When I stir your heart, when I gently prompt your spirit, when clarity rises within you, respond. Hesitation dulls what is clear. Waiting too long allows doubt to grow louder than truth. I am not speaking firmly to frighten you. I am protecting what I have prepared for you. Some blessings are tied to movement, not to waiting. Some doors remain open only for those willing to step forward when the invitation is given. I ask you now to release what you have been holding tightly because of fear. Release the fear of being disappointed again. Release the fear of choosing wrongly. Release the fear of trusting me completely. These fears have been with you a long time, and they have shaped your decisions more than you realize. Fear has convinced you to remain where you are, even when that place no longer brings life. Fear has urged you to cling to pain because it feels familiar. But I did not create you to live confined by fear. Let go of bitterness. I know it formed as protection. I know it grew out of hurt, being overlooked, misunderstood, or betrayed. I know it helped you endure seasons that felt unfair. But bitterness was never meant to stay. It weighs down your heart and clouds your vision. You do not need bitterness to be strong anymore. You are stronger now. Place it in my hands. I will tend to what wounded you. I will bring justice where it is needed. You do not have to carry that weight into what comes next. Release overthinking as well. You have tried to solve everything in your mind, replaying words, predicting outcomes, preparing for every possible failure. I understand why preparation once felt safer than hope. But overthinking ceases to be wisdom when it replaces trust. Some things cannot be reasoned through. Some steps only make sense after they are taken. I am inviting you to quiet your thoughts enough to hear me clearly and to follow me simply. Trust me completely, not partly, not carefully, but fully. Trust does not mean fear disappears. It means you choose me even while fear is present. Trust is believing that I see what you cannot see, that I know what you do not know, and that I love you more deeply than you love yourself. When you trust me, you no longer need to control outcomes or shield yourself from every possible pain. You rest in the assurance that I am leading you. I want you to understand this plainly. Hesitation can cause missed blessings, not because I punish you, but because moments pass. Timing matters. When the tide rises, you move with it. When a door opens, you step through. When I speak, I act, and I invite you to act with me. If you wait too long, you may find yourself trying to recreate a moment that was meant to be entered, not examined. Do not confuse waiting on me with resisting me. Waiting is rooted in trust. Resistance is delayed obedience. You will recognize the difference by the peace, or the lack of peace, within you. When I am calling you forward, remaining still will feel heavy. That heaviness is not rest, it is tension. I want to release you from that tension by guiding you into movement. I am not asking you to jump alone. I am holding your hand. I am steadying your steps. I am not sending you into the unknown without support. I am walking beside you into what I have already prepared. The step before you is not into darkness. It is into alignment. It is into purpose. It is into a future that matches the growth you have already lived through. Stay attentive right now. Do not allow distractions to pull you away. Do not let familiar habits convince you that this is just another message, another moment you can return to later. Some instructions are bound to timing. This is one of them. What I am asking of you now will make sense later, but it must be chosen now. Release the need to see the entire path. You only need the next step. Release the pressure to be flawless. You only need to be willing. Release the fear of change. Change is the doorway to what you have been praying for. You cannot remain the same and receive something new. Transformation requires movement, and movement requires trust. Write, "I love you more with every breath, Jesus," if His presence carries you each day, and share this video.